for me, every woman is a Sherni. Because like you said, you don't have to have your claws out all the time. You don't have to roar to be a tigress. But each of us is making our way through this jungle called life. You know, waste not a moment on someone who does not push you towards being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Those people don't deserve your energy. We often get scared to tell men what we think of them. And I'm not anti men or anything. I'm just saying it's difficult, especially in a work setting. And that too, to be telling your boss. That scene with Brijender Kala sir, where he's being chased by the legislator and his goons. I think that he's done that scene so well. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Alright, so today I have with me someone who's been ruling our hearts all this while, but this time she's rather roared her way into our hearts with an amazing performance in Sherni, which is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Welcoming the very amazing Vidya Balan. Hi Vidya ma'am, welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you, Shweta.
Well, it's so good to have you again. How have you been? How is the response like? But before that, I have to congratulate you. Officially as well. I already did that before we started, but I absolutely love the film. So many issues are being dealt with in the film with utmost sincerity, honesty, and it just translates on the screen so beautifully. Sadly, I connected with the film, which should not be the case in the real world, but I think everything about the film, I just absolutely love it. This is what I had to say. What is the kind of response that you're getting from
I
everyone?
just first want to say thank you so much. It's heartening to receive this kind of appreciation and love for our film. And I think the responses have pretty much been similar to your expression of appreciation. But people have been sending me long messages.
Yeah.
Uh, there was only, amongst all the messages I've received, there was one 3-line message. Otherwise, everything went into 20-25 lines. People talking about how the film has impacted them, how they felt for T12, how they felt for the Cubs, how they thought, they felt protective about the Cubs, about the sexism that was shown in the film, and just the man-animal conflict, and understanding how we must do our bit for environment. The kind of reactions are so varied, and it's so gratifying, really.
But I am so glad that you're receiving this response, because we've been waiting for some amazing content and you've been really helping us with that. So we have you
How
to thank
sweet.
for
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
So this is a personal observation. I mean, you might sort of disagree with it as well, but I feel that when we see Sherni as a metaphor, I feel that it's very similar to how a woman leads her life. She doesn't necessarily also have to have her claws out all the time, but also the kind of things that she does in a day-to-day sense, making the sacrifices that she does and just living her life the way she does. I think it seems really similar to the word Sherni, if used as a metaphor. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, 2000%. I think you hit the nail on the head and expressed it so beautifully. I think I've been saying this during the promotions that, for me, every woman is a Sherni. Because like you said, you don't have to have your claws out all the time. You don't have to roar to be a tigress. But each of us is making our way through this jungle called life. On a day-to-day basis, standing up to challenges, overcoming them, trying to realize our dreams, live our lives the way we want to, overcoming fears, importantly. I think all of that, like the line in the film says, "Jungle kitna bhi ghana kyun na ho, sherni apna rasta dhoond hi leti hai." And I think that encapsulates for me the essence of Sherni and of every woman. Absolutely.
How lovely. Okay, so like you said, how women have to sort of deal with all these things in their lives, and I'm sure this being in a patriarchal setting, and sort of realizing and seeing things, how things are really around you, all this gaslighting and whatnot, it just constantly keeps hitting women all the time. I'm sure that you've also dealt with it. I have, so I know that everybody out there has sadly dealt with it. But for people, for women especially, who are just sort of coming out, and they're realizing that these are the things which are not just seen in films, but this is sadly the universal truth, and everybody has to sadly go through it. If there was an advice that you would want to give to women out there who are just sort of battling these things, if they could sort of, if you could just tell them how, according to you, they could deal with such situations without losing the sense of perspective and without losing the sense of themselves, because it can really be demotivating as well.
Yeah, but you know what I learned from playing Vidya Vincent is that sometimes you have to choose your battles. While it is important to give it back to people who put you down or who talk you down, it's not always important to do that. You can even do that through your actions, because you have to really decide what requires your energy at that particular point of time. If you have the time to indulge that person, I think call it out for sure.
Yeah.
Fight, put up a good fight. But if not, I think just invest your energies in doing what you want to be doing, and you will prove that person wrong anyway. And there will always be naysayers. You cannot walk into a room and hope to get approval from all 10 people ever. There will be people who underestimate you. Let them. They obviously, have nothing better to do in life. You go ahead and live your life while they pass judgments and underestimate you, and I don't know what else, but waste not a moment on someone who does not push you towards being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Those people don't deserve your energy.
That is so well put. I completely agree with it. You spoke about Vidya and how what you learned from Vidya Vincent's character. Do you have, okay, so I have a couple of scenes which I especially, they cracked me up, and I was like, yes, you go Vidya. I was just rooting for Vidya in those particular scenes, like how she would stand up for herself, or how she would just stand up to everything around her, because she obviously can see what's happening, and she isn't one of those people who just sit quietly and just take it all in. She would obviously stand up. So those scenes particularly, I think, were some of my favorite scenes in the film, apart from all the other things as well. Do you have any particular favorite scene from the film now that it's out, and we can finally talk about that?
That scene with Brijender Kala sir, where he's being chased by the legislator and his goons. I think that he's done that scene so well. I absolutely enjoyed it. Of course, as a character, all the scenes that I've done, because I believed in it and I tried to do my best, I think I can't choose amongst those scenes. I always feel like, oh my God, how can I choose one scene amongst all these? But I think that scene when she finally tells Nangya, played by Neeraj Kabir, she says, "You're pathetic."
Yeah.
I think that was quite something. Because we've been called all sorts of names, we've been labeled, but we often get scared to tell men what we think of them. And I'm not anti-men or anything. I'm just saying it's difficult, especially in a work setting. And that too, to be telling your boss.
Yeah.
While we've been taught to revere men, men in positions of authority are treated like God.
True.
So for her to stand up to him, I think that even though she doesn't like scream and rave and rant or anything, you can see that she uses her voice where it's needed. And I admire that about the character.
Exactly like what I said. Like, she doesn't really have to have her claws out all the time to, just attack. She's just in a very subtle manner and giving it back. So yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a completely random question now. Okay, this is just something that I was just watching an interview, and I was just thinking about this one. Has it ever happened to you that you're in the middle of a scene, any film, any scene, and it might be like an intense drama or something like that, and you've gotten blank and you've forgotten your lines. How do you deal with things like this? Because I'll tell you what, I just also want to understand like how you would approach a scene and a character. It's like a very philosophical kind of question and nothing what a journalist would be interested in, but it just makes me interested because also I saw this interview of Vicky Kaushal where he was talking about how he tries to capture the thought process of the character to be able to give that kind of a performance and also to improvise if he can on the set. So I just want to understand, how does that work out for you?
Firstly, of course, there are times when I draw a blank and I'm like, oh my God, what was the line? No, and what was I thinking? Because sometimes it could be some distraction, it could be lack of energy or low energy, it could be a hungry stomach, it could be so many different things, right? So those things happen all the time. And I think for me, it's about the feeling. I'm trying to feel what the character would have felt at that time, and that's always my focus.
I think that has worked for you all this while also, because people have also felt what you have felt all these years, not just with Sherni, but all these years, all the amazing performances that you've been giving us. So yeah, that's
Thank you.
and it was so nice talking to you again, Vidya ma'am. Thank you
Same
so much.
here.
That's all the time we had, but I just want to thank you once again for bringing out this amazing film. Thanks to you, thanks to Amazon for bringing it out to our homes while we can just sit at the comfort of our houses and just watch these amazing films with our family. So thank you for that, and I'm also looking forward to everything else that you're going to be a part of, and hopefully to chat with you again very soon.
Yes, hopefully soon and in person. But thank you so much, Shweta.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.